Shalom, shalom. This week's Parsha is Parshat Tazria, and it begins with speaking about when a woman gives birth to a child. And first it talks about if she gives birth to a male child, that she's contaminated with the blood of her nida after giving birth for 7 days. On the 8th day, you give the newborn son a circumcision. And for 30 days, a woman is not allowed to enter the sanctuary or touch anything holy. And then it goes on to discuss if she has a daughter, a female, then she for 2 weeks is contaminated with that blood of the giving the birth, and she has to not refrain from entering the sanctuary and touching anything sacred for 2 full months. And there's a lot of talk about this, and unfortunately God did not give a reason in the Bible saying why this is so, why we need to do such and such, and there has been discussion, but I want to say something that entered my mind that I think is helpful in life and how we should live and how we should child rear and go about to proceed in life with this new found situation of being a mother to this child. So let's discuss the male child, and then we'll go on to say why I think there's double for the female. So when a woman gives birth to a child, she takes the risk of forgetting, and at times I do think that people forget that in creating this child, it's not just her and her male partner, but there are 3 people involved, that because God blessed the efforts of the woman and the man, she was able to conceive, and she was able to give birth, and she was able to bring down the soul from above into this body, into this world. And that we have to remember that this child is not ours. We did not create them alone. This is not our possession. This is not our own creation, and that we have an obligation to remember that God gave us, entrusted this soul within our care to be a facilitator. It's not something we did on our own. We don't own this child. We are just here to help the child as best as we can to facilitate them to achieve their purpose in this world. And at times people do forget. They do forget that, and they act like they own their children, which they don't. I made you, I've heard these things, okay, part of it is true, but we have to remember that the most important part is how we were able to do this. And it was only by God making that decision. And so then the woman, she has this time in her 7 days of nida. She has this time to really, really think and to remember this and to dedicate that child, when it's a male, to God, and to keep this in mind. And she needs a full month of not going in to the sanctuary, touching anything sacred, and to remind her that she's something's different here. What's different now? What's different now is that she's undergone this situation that runs the risk of having her have thoughts. And we're told that after this waiting time, she has to bring a ola and a chatat, 2 different offerings, an elevation offering and a sin offering. And the reasons that they give, there are different reasons. I'm not going to go into them, but I think partly also because she might have had thoughts that forgot the divinity within this situation. And at the end of the period, after she brings an elevation offering to God and a sin offering, in case, God forbid, for one moment she acted or thought or did something contrary to the fact that it was God who blessed these efforts, God who really controls the main ingredients of whether this is going to work or what's going to happen. And she has to do that. And why would it be double for a girl? This is not my own thought. This is something that I heard a long time ago. I don't remember who, so I can't quote where it comes from. But when maybe I heard it from Rabbi Akiva Tatz, possibly, and I don't know where he got it from. But with a woman, when a woman gives birth to another woman, they might have a sense of they have this ability to do something that's will eternally has a potential of giving life, kind of like God, because she has a daughter, and the daughter can have daughters, and daughters, and it has this feeling of power, of the power of creation, which is so great, so great. So it's double when there's another, when she gives birth to another female who has that potential. And I think that this is crucial. This is crucial for us in our child rearing, to always remember that this child, I don't want to sound cliche, but is a child of God, not our possessions. And that we have to remember that. We have to remember that everything that we do is that this child was entrusted to us, that they have a purpose in life that was God-given, and that they're not little children for us to mold in our image, but that we should help to bring out their qualities, their innate qualities of good, that they can maximize their potential and achieve their purpose in this world. And with that, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.